Hey guys, I just had an amazing conversation with Simon Gould from Sydney Digital Marketing Agency. Guys, this is so fascinating. So many gems, especially for the people who want to start a marketing agency. Actually, even for a lot of those business owners who want to grow their marketing, right? You want to be able to earn more money, earn more revenue in whatever you're doing. Maybe you're a CEO, maybe you're a service-based business founder, and you really want to grow in your marketing perspective. This is so much value for you. This interview was really powerful. Simon Gould has built up his personal brand magnificently well. And I want you to listen close towards the end about LinkedIn.
That's what LinkedIn really wants to see. If you're prepared to go, right, I'm going to...
We give a lot of game on LinkedIn that is powerful. So many things you can learn to grow your business in this conversation. I promise you. Hey, just watch it. And I really hope you enjoy it. Take notes, really take notes, because you're going to learn quite a lot. Enjoy. Look, I just wanted to thank you so much for taking the time, time out of your day. Like, that's always something I never take for granted. And with you, obviously, like what you've been able to do, being a CEO and founder has been amazing. Like I've really seen your journey. So I was like, how can we structure this conversation in a way that could be impactful? But I was thinking for all the people who want to start marketing agencies, right? I think now more than ever, we're seeing more and more people want to, start a marketing agency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think what you've done and who you are in the field is powerful. And I think we can go in that direction of providing that advice and some of your lessons, your failures, what you've really, really been able to learn and take on your journey, I think will be really, really powerful.
Sounds good. Let's give it a whirl. I don't know whether I'd advise people to be starting a marketing agency or not, given the frenetic, anxiety-inducing. We're always on display, because when I say we're always on display, we're always very held accountable because of the numbers. It's all numbers driven. So you have to perform. So yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Wow. Okay. So, obviously with your journey with Sydney Digital Marketing Agency, when you say it's numbers driven, what do you mean by that?
Well, so marketing is very much part art and part science. So the art is obviously making your online presence, making everything look good, having a brand consistency, just like the big guys. It shouldn't be any difference for sort of SME businesses. I don't know who we're talking to on the pod, but if we're talking to people that, as you say, are looking to just start a business, brand consistency is really important, critical, especially in a very noisy space, as in 72% of all advertising in Australia is now online. So, sorry, 72% of the advertising budget in Australia is all invested online. Okay. So when we're talking about devices, so you can't see that because of my background, but we're talking about everything being on a handheld device. So you're lucky to be able to, how do you stand out? How do you stand out from the noise? How do you be memorable? How do you make sure that you've got a very unique value proposition, or you've got a unique positioning in comparison to everybody else? And then the science side of it is tracking the numbers, is diving deep and making sure that you've got things like attribution set up correctly, so that you can see, once that cash drops in the till, whether that's for an e-commerce purchase or whether it's for a service, where did that lead come from? How did that customer start their journey? So being all about the numbers and data driven, you need to be able to understand and interpret the numbers that are on your dashboards, on your Google Analytics, in your HubSpot, in your Salesforce, whatever platform it is that you're tracking. Because by understanding the numbers, I'll give you an example. We were with a client just yesterday. He's coming to us from another agency, very well-known agency, very large agency. We pulled apart his numbers and we looked at what had been going on, and he had felt that agency had let him down. Now, there were some areas where they definitely could have been better, but when we looked at the numbers, he had an objective. He had a KPI in mind. He wanted to get, let's just say it was 10 leads a day, all right, and he wanted to be able to convert 20% of those into paid customers. So we had all of this data going back. We had cost per clicks, we had conversion rates, we had cost per conversion. We ran the numbers up and down, and he said, I want to drop my media spend. It was reasonably.
My name is Sujira Rubasha, the co-founder of the Rubasha Family Podcast. Now, I know you have a story to tell. I know you have a mission and vision that you obsess constantly about, and you're solving problems in the marketplace. So I want to sit down and get your story. I want to hear the real juice and authentic of who you are, because at the end of the day, people want to know about you. They care about you as a human being. So this is your chance to come on the Rubasha Family Podcast and be part of our Founder Series. We are hosting a Founder Series with entrepreneurs from all over the world who had an imagination to create their business. We want to know you, the person, and how you're solving problems in the marketplace. So if you want to get in touch, fill out our quiz. Now, the quiz is a way for us to qualify you to see if you can come on the show. We can really see how powerful your brand is, where you are, so we can have you as an industry expert to come and tell your story. Business and life is all about communication. How can you tell stories, and how can I sit down and ask you questions that are going to get to your soul? See you soon.
Reasonable amount of budget per month he was spending for a small business, maybe around sort of $20,000 a month. And he said, I want to bring that down, but I want to double the amount of inquiries. And we looked at everything and we just said, but based on, we can double the amount of inquiries, but the ROI that you're going to get is not going to be worthwhile. So we always look at it and go, okay, how much are you spending? How much are you returning? Like any investment. Mm-hmm. And by going through this massive spreadsheet of data over 6 months worth of data, we could, hand on heart, before we even started moving forward with a campaign with him, we said, you're dreaming. Like, there's just no way, based off all of this data here, there's just no way that you're going to be able to get to where you want to get to from a return perspective, because your average order value just isn't high enough. It's like $1,500 per client. So understanding that means that you don't charge forward in 3 months' time, that client saying to you, guys, it's not really working out. If we want to talk about lessons, over the 10 years that we've had Sydney Digital Marketing, there's been times where previously, it wasn't as competitive. We'd go to market and we'd find 3 months later that we just weren't able to deliver, because we didn't really dive deeply enough into the numbers to understand that no matter how much you spent or what we did as an agency, we just weren't going to be able to achieve those KPIs. So I think that answers the question in terms of the data and the numbers and why that's so important.
So real quick on that scenario, now what do you tell him to do now? So like, does he raise his price? Like what's the solution for that?
Great question. Yeah, great question. So he's looking at some other service lines that he can bring in, because his focus has been on one particular service line. And now he's saying, well, actually, maybe, look, I've got a couple of other things over here that might take a little bit longer to get up to speed, but the value of that other service line is far, far greater, by like a multiple of 5 or 6. So then it starts to stack up. But in saying that, then we've got to go back and we've got to look at, okay, well, how much it's going to cost us? Is that service line that you now want to go after? How competitive is that? Let's go and do a competitive analysis. Let's go and understand who's who in the zoo, who else is playing in this space, what are they spending to make, to capture the potential clients, the traffic basically and the clicks. Where are they spending? Are they on YouTube? Are they on Instagram? Are they on TikTok? Are they on Google AdWords? Is it all organic? Is it all being driven by SEO? Are they putting out loads of content? Would he then have to invest not only in his Google Ads budget, but would he also have to invest in creating content to sort of build that brand awareness and trust and credibility piece? So there's so many moving parts in delivering, the outcome that the client is looking for. It's not when we first started the agency 10 years ago, it was a lot easier. You know, you go onto Facebook, you plug in some ads, you target your audience. You had 150 different metrics that you could, or audience attributes that you could target. I think it was Apple iOS 14.5 came out a few years ago, and all the privacy issues there that affected people like us, big and small agencies, being able to attribute that journey again. So it's been very, very difficult over the past few years to get that attribution right, to the point where, there's companies now that are setting up specific attribution platforms because it is so difficult to find out where that paid customer has come from. And the reason why that's so important is because if you can work out where the paid customers are coming from versus the ones that don't convert, let's go and find more of that type of customer so that we're getting that, that wheel of profit and high ROI working.
That's very fascinating, because there's so many places I want to go. But let me ask you, majority of your clients, are they service, e-commerce? What does that look like?
Yeah, service. We geared up as an agency mostly to deal with service-based businesses that have a high ticket item, as in anything sort of $3,000, $2,000 and upwards. They might even have a lifetime value of, there might be a repeat client purchase. So it could be something that's a service of, say, $500 a month, but the client's signing up for $6,000 a year or something. So that makes it worthwhile, because there's so many steps along the way. There's so many parts of the customer journey that we want to be present for. So we want to have our top of funnel awareness campaign going to build that trust and authority. A lot of people come to us and they go, I want to get this many inquiries, and the business is 6 months old. No one knows the brand. There's no trust. There's no credibility. There's very few reviews. But there's somebody else over here who's been going for 2 years. They've got 400 reviews, 1,000 reviews. And that's what people look at these days. If they're going to go with somebody who's got 20 reviews versus somebody who's got 150 or 200, they're going to go with somebody. No matter how good your product is, they're going to most likely go with that company that's just got that much more credibility due to reviews.
And it's interesting to me because like I think service based that you have, and high retainers. I wanted to ask you now, how do you look at the organic and the paid? Because like you said, the game has changed now, and the organic content is truly, truly so powerful. So it's like when you can supplement powerful organic and then run ads against that organic, like I really see that being the fine line for a lot of success. So like, I think a lot of people need to really realize that is your organic social media content is vital as ever, because like you said, it builds that know, like, and trust factor. Even me, right? When I see an advertisement, okay, yeah, I'll see the ad, but what am I going to do? I'm going to go in and look at the company. I'm going to go and see if I can see things on the founder. You're going to go on YouTube and do all these things. So I think that's why it's like extremely powerful organic. So when you get clients, do they come in majority, or, how it without a strong organic presence, with an organic presence that makes your job, I guess, much, much easier to then help them do that? How do you guys balancing that from your growth with your company?
It's funny, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to drive as much organic growth for our clients as possible, which kind of then negates the need for us to manage their paid campaigns. We say to people, you don't want to be paying Facebook and Google and YouTube and everybody all of this cash every single month. What we want to do is we want to build your brand so that people are actually going to search for Sydney Digital Marketing Agency rather than AdWords agency in Sydney. And everybody piles in on that particular keyword. You want your brand to stand out, whether that's personal or whether that's your corporate brand, business brand. And funny enough, I was just looking at some stats of one of our clients before who came to us. They've got a health product that sells through all the major chemist chains in Australia, Coles, it's either definitely Coles or definitely Woolworths. I think it's definitely one of the big chains. And they said, we don't want to be selling online. We just want to be driving people in store, which is unusual. But anyway, we said, okay, because they do sell online as well. Sorry, so that's why I said it's unusual. They need to be able to drive people into the chains. And simply from, I believe we've been running a quite extensive YouTube campaign available in pharmacy stores nationwide, these great pharmacy stores nationwide and major supermarkets. And their traffic, I literally just did the insights on it, but their traffic, I think, from an organic search perspective, with nothing else going on other than running YouTube. Okay, so we haven't done, we fixed their site a little bit, but we didn't go in a full blast SEO campaign. And their organic traffic was up something like about 40-45% or something in 6 months, simply because more people heard about the product, they were going and searching for it. That's impacted, obviously, their organic positioning. They're not having to pay a high cost per acquisition because it's an awareness campaign, and the platforms always want to charge you more if there's a conversion action attached. If you're running a campaign and you want to get an outcome, Google and Facebook and everybody else will charge you more for that, rather than it just being that top of funnel, that awareness campaign and just running impressions. So, that's, to us, that's a good result. If that's 40 odd percent in 6 months or so, and it's 100% in 12 months, and then it's another 100% in another 12 months. I think one of the mistakes that a lot of business owners, or whether it's e-commerce or service-based, make is they think that once they go online, it's going to revolutionize the business within 3-5 months. You put an ad online, everybody's going to buy from me, and the phone's going to start ringing, and the inbox is going to start pinging. It's long term. It really is. It is very much a long term game, and you've got to be prepared to be patient and invest. Like anything, when you start a business, you don't sort of start it. So I'll see how this goes for 3 months. Same with marketing your business. You have to take a long term view. You've got to be able to generate the data. I mean, ideally, we deal with established brands, so they've got that at least 12 months or 2 years worth of data that we can look at and go, okay, well, what's the gap analysis? Who's winning in this space? Okay, what are they doing? What are you doing? What's the gap? How do we close that gap?
Okay. And so what content would you say performs the best that you've seen? What content would you say? Because I think it's interesting, like with that brand there, like their organic help facilitate any ads that you guys run, right? Especially through Google, and YouTube owning Google, is very, very extremely powerful, by the way. And I tell people all the time, like, you have to be on YouTube, right? Because especially YouTube Shorts now, right? When people are searching for how to, it's, and when you have that powerful on YouTube, it's powerful. So what content do you see that performs really well and when you run ads against it? And are you guys in that process of the content creation side? Do you guys now, help your clients with that?
Internally, we do it. So we do a lot of content marketing ourselves. And as you probably know, it does take a lot of time and energy and effort. And in order for us to package that up for our clients, we focus, I think, more on that driving paid traffic rather than organic social media. We used to do organic social media for our clients. We used to have BMW and Mini, BMW Sydney and Mini Garage Sydney as a client, leading up until for about 5.5 years leading up to COVID. And COVID, unfortunately, no one was going into car dealerships. But anyway, so we built their social media, we built their organic social media. And then I think because they were owned by the factory itself, like BMW out of Germany, after about 5 years, they started getting some heat from the corporate in terms of the type of social media that we were producing. And then we had to change, and it became much, much difficult for us to get engaging content. For instance, we did the first Facebook Live in a car. They just launched the BMW M2, and we Facebook Live the first test drive with their head of technology or whatever it was down at the dealership, and we were just doing some really cool stuff. But it took a lot of time, took a lot of effort on our side, and then it became very, very subjective. We'd put forward all of our content to go out for the week. Then 5:30 on a Friday, we'd get a note from the marketing department that the dealer principal had said he doesn't like any of that. Redo it all for the weekend. And we just thought, you know what? It's just too much of a pain in the ass. So we don't do any more organic content apart from ourselves. Or obviously we give our clients like the guidelines and we give them the strategy, but we don't then go and produce that content for them.
So you guys are just kind of receiving it and seeing what you're able to work with to help them get the best performance.
Yeah. And like I said, so we'll give them a strategy, and the majority of our work is mostly paid media. So they'll give us the assets and the creative, and we'll go and place it, and we'll manage it, and we'll track it, and we'll do all the attribution that I was mentioning earlier on in the chat. And then obviously give them feedback, say, look, this piece worked really well, this piece sucked, this piece, we could improve a little bit. So it's there's a lot of test and learning going on. And I think that's probably one of the other things, you can sit and plan and try and get it perfect. For my team, perfect is better than done. For me, done is better than perfect. I just say, come on, guys, let's just get it out there. But that's, I guess, more around the sort of entrepreneurial, like hustle, let's go. And over the years, the team said, well, hang on, there's a process that we've developed, there's a system that we've developed, and this gets the best results. But my point is, you can't expect to get it right every single time with organic content. I posted a piece last week about building a personal brand. Went really, really well. It was a little bit shorter than what I do normally. It was like just a little bit over 2.5 minutes. Traditionally, I've sort of done like 5-minute pieces because I just like to talk. And this is mostly, LinkedIn is sort of where we get most of our leverage from. Okay, it's where we build our brand. And then I did another piece yesterday morning. I was up in Kingscliff. We've got another office just north of Byron Bay. I shot it on the beach first thing in the morning, off the cuff, didn't really script it or anything. And I thought, man, this is going to be really cool because I'm just going off the cuff and just saying it how it is. And it was like 1.5 minutes in a great location. And it didn't go anywhere. Well, no, sorry, I said it didn't go anywhere. It didn't have the same impact that I was hoping for. But hey ho, next time we'll take that into account. Maybe I posted it the wrong time, the wrong day. I normally post a video sort of Wednesday lunchtime. Maybe I missed the peak hour on LinkedIn in this case. So, there's still, even 10 years later, we're still testing, we're still learning, we're still iterating because the algorithms change all the time. And but yeah, you asked me, what do I see that works for us? I think, and for everybody, it's got to be video. You've got to be doing video. Good written content. Good written. Again, talking LinkedIn, Twitter, X. Unfortunately, not as big in Australia as it is sort of outside of Australia. But X is a fantastic platform in terms of learning and giving away information and really, again, building that sort of personal connection and building that trust and credibility. But if we're talking service-based businesses, LinkedIn really is a super powerful platform, and you can get really good insights into who's engaging with your content, and they've got a suite of products, if you like, everything now from carousels to lead ads to video. So, if I was recommending to any business that's trying to stand out and get more revenue or prospects, LinkedIn would be a really strong place to play. It's a whole ecosystem, but if you can build that brand and build that credibility, that trust factor where people get to know you. I've been doing videos since my daughter's 7.5 now. So I think it's about 7 years, let's say. and to varying degrees of success. I've had nothing that's gone viral or anything like that, but I've just been consistent with it. I just feel that that's where we need to be as an agency. It sort of sets us apart a little bit from other local agencies, certainly in Sydney. And my point was video. The amount of people that have walked into the boardroom or walked into our office to meet with us to talk about doing us running their campaigns, they say, feel like I know you already. I've been following you for a year, really like your stuff. You always give a little bit of tips and tricks and things, but I feel like I know you already. And that's the whole idea, is, you're building that trust and credibility, so you're not an unknown. So yeah, for me it's video. There's some great creative out there. Sydney Digital Marketing, we are very much a transformational agency in terms of transforming your marketing results and making sure that you're getting a very high ROI. We're not what I would say, we're not like a creative house, so we're not going out there after that FMCG, retail, where you need to iterate, have lots and lots and lots of iterations of creative, for us. And that's why we're sort of stuck in the service-based industries, because we understand how that works. We understand the customer journey. We can build, workflows and triggered events and everything that goes on in the background that's going to nurture that customer through the customer journey, using, ideally HubSpot is our sort of preferred platform of choice when it comes to CRM. But I think all businesses really, when you're putting yourself out there, you need to be able to, from a service-based perspective, you need to be able to track that journey. You need to be able to see where people are falling out of that. Where do you need to plug the leaks in the funnel or the bucket?
So you're seeing that customer journey, until they come in as a client. I did just want to go back because you said so many great things. First of all, it's so true in terms of building your brand. Like, even me, I've seen your videos, right? And it's just so powerful. I was getting goosebumps when you were talking about it, because it's something that I've really been talking to people about. Imagine walking in a meeting and someone's already listened to your podcast or someone's already consumed your content. Do you know how it makes your life so much easier? Like, when I go into meetings, it's basically just, what's the solution that we're solving here?
Yeah.
Because like you said, when people come into your office, it's like, I've already spent time with Simon, I've gotten to know him. Like, I see your videos, videos on Instagram. And it's not like you even do highly produced videos. Like, you do the most simple videos by the office, getting your phone out. But you did that over such a long period of time that, that's also extremely powerful. And I think that's where a lot of IC marketing companies get it wrong. You do it so much for your clients, and I can understand it, but you do all the marketing for your clients, but you're not marketing yourself. So what's going to make you stand out? That's why that's why you're still here today. Like, you've stood out really well. So just on that, but then I want to talk about LinkedIn. I was agreeing with everything you were saying about it. Like, LinkedIn is a gold mine. Like, my goodness. And there's never been a better time to be on it. By the way, I did hear 11 a.m. That's what I heard is the sweet spot. So maybe when you said midday, I was like, that's what I heard, 11 a.m. I just got into a thing. I post every hour of the day, kind of obsessive about it, like, go, go, go. So I did want to ask you, what are some strategies that you apply on LinkedIn? Because it's so true, your service-based business. And what's the balance do you strike? Are you guys outreaching to people? Is it coming to you? Is it, let's just post content and then let the business come to us? Because that really, if you do that over a long time, that's what's happening. That's what we've seen. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, great question. So really simple. You got to give to get, right? So what I've learned is you have to be, the platform wants to see you as involved as possible. So that it wants to see you commenting, engaging with others. Okay. And then it will then float your content out further with further reach. So as I say, if you're giving feedback and you're Yeah, literally giving to people and giving them kudos and sharing other people's posts. Really, not just, hey, great post, mate, but really, really engaging in the conversation. That's what LinkedIn really wants to see. And so therefore, if you're prepared, and I still don't have I haven't nailed this yet, but if you're prepared to go, right, I'm going to engage with everybody that I follow. Let's say I pick 10 of my top influencers. I'm not influencers in the traditional term, but 10 people that I read that have got big followings and I really enjoy their content, right? I'm going to go on there and I'm going to engage with them. I'm going to go around LinkedIn. I'm going to go and look for their posts, their latest posts. I'm going to engage with them for 20 minutes and then I'm going to post my content, because that sends a signal to LinkedIn that you're engaging with other people and you've also posted something yourself. From what I'm hearing, seeing from the people that I follow, they're saying, you do that 5 days a week. Some people say it's got to be even longer, but let's just say 20 minutes just to start. That does seem to make a difference. And when I think about it yesterday, because I didn't do that prior to posting that post, just made me realize that was the one difference, right? So I was in a rush to do it. I was up the coast. I wanted to get it out because it was still morning. I wanted it to appear to be almost live, but that was the one thing I didn't do yesterday. So I think engaging with others and really adding value. And then LinkedIn goes, well, look, this person's a thought leader. They've got an opinion. We want to generate a rich community of thought leadership and opinions on LinkedIn. So those voices that are actively engaging with others, let's bring them to the fore as well. So give to get. You want to get engagement, you want to get reach, you've got to give back something first to the platform in order to do that.
Yeah. So in doing all that, how does one acquire clients from LinkedIn?
Yeah. So look, we have not started as yet an outbound. We did do for a little while, actually. Sorry, we did have a dropping into people, like connecting with people, and then just getting straight to the point of, this is why we wanted to connect with you. We did that for a few months. We did get some interesting conversations out of it. From memory, I think we might have landed 1 or 2 clients, and then it sort of fell by the wayside. So we're going to revisit that, but just with a slightly different approach this time. In terms of, do we get business from it? Yes, we do. Does it send people to our website? Yes, it does. Do I see my organic traffic go up when we get a strong engagement, let's say? Yes. We've run, and there's again, like I said, there's so many products on LinkedIn. You could do a LinkedIn newsletter. I mean, my inbox is just blowing up with people wanting me to subscribe to their newsletters. But there's, it's a really powerful way of making sure that everybody gets your content. Then you could do a LinkedIn article. Then obviously there's, PDF carousels as well, which again are sort of like, seem to be like the flavor of the year for 2024. Everybody's saying that carousels really do drive engagement and value, as long as you're giving value. Somebody said, and you might have heard this as well, but if you're going to give something away and you really want to get results, give something away that's going to hurt. Give something away that's been 3, 4, 5 years of your blood, sweat, and tears of really being on the grind, but you're going to give that away. And then people go, wow, that was super valuable. What can I do next? If that's what they give me for free, imagine what they give me for money. Imagine what their paid stuff is worth. So it's finding that balance with what you're comfortable giving away for free. You don't want to give away the how you do it. You want to give away the why, the what, the who, but you don't want to give away necessarily the how or the really. You want to give people sort of top level stuff, and they go, I'll talk too hard, I'll go and engage. If we're talking just purely agency, you want them to come to you at some stage. And that's why I was saying all of this, it's all long term. So many people go to market, expect it to be silver bullet, put up some Facebook ads. Everybody's advertising on Facebook or everybody's advertising on YouTube. How hard can it be? It's hard. To get success, to get sustainable success, it's hard. It's hard work.
So what would you say about running ads on LinkedIn, especially like if it does organically really well?
So we then so we do that now. So we'll the best performing pieces that work organically, we'll then go and sponsor them. We'll pick a particular audience. We know who our ICP is, our ideal client profile. We know the types of businesses we want to go after, the job titles, the revenue, the location. So those things for us, we just want to hit those people there, and then we start to again build that audience. See who's engaging with that. And LinkedIn obviously gives us the analytics that we can see by job title, by revenue, by company name, those sorts of things. We can see who's engaging, so then we can then take perhaps a subset. Let's say we're going out to 150,000 people. Suddenly the engagement within that audience is 10,000. So let's pull those people out and move them down into the second campaign, the middle of the funnel, where we're going to now start targeting them with a free consultation or a free audit or something else of more value, because they've shown an interest. They've actually watched 50% of one of my videos, or maybe 75%. Let's go and get that audience and start to talk to them with a different message. So yeah, LinkedIn, from whether it's B2B or B2C, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all people. We're all selling to people. So it doesn't have to be, oh, look, we're a B2B brand, it's not going to work for us. Until, it's robots and AI in, 2 years' time, we're still selling to people. And even then, it'll be the robots and the AI selling to people anyway. So
and I did want to go back on what you said about the LinkedIn outbound. Is that something that I've been very mindful of as well, in terms of, I mean, you know what it's like. You just get people message you on LinkedIn. There's no personalization. It's just like, and so like when I keep seeing that, I'm like, we can't do that. We can't go in and just send those. Or there was even one person, I just messaged them. I was like, is this an automation one? Like, maybe I actually gave them advice. You want to, and it's like a big person's profile. So it's like, we can't do that. So I do understand, like what you're saying, mate, if you guys are doing that or kind of drawn back on that, because you do really you got to be really strategical with that, because it's like, you got to do it in a way where now we use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is great, because now if you have that target person, it's much easier to do that in a way where you still personalize it, but because going to that specific person, it's a bit easier. So I do see what you're saying about that, because it's like, we can't do that,
And like I said, the way that we were doing it, I think it was about a year ago when we were doing it. It was we saw somebody else doing it. We took the theme that they were using and honed it ourselves. But I said, oh look, I'm personally, because it was coming from me, obviously, not 100% comfortable with it, but let's see if it works, because it was a little bit too. It was taken from an American. It was taken from someone in America, and I think the Australian audience and the American audience very, very different, very, very different. And you're absolutely right. You've got to try different messages. It needs to be personalized, and it needs to be authentic. It's not like, hey, I noticed that you went to school with, you went to this school and so and so, and no one cares about that. Like, people. My LinkedIn inbox is just a war zone, man. It's just like, just constantly, hey, want to sell you this. And some of it's just awful. I look at it, I go, have you done any research at all on us? And I think, if you are going to go that route, you want to do some research. You don't want to be too overly friendly, but you also want to say, hey, look, I've noticed this, and this, and I think, we may be able to add some value to your business or to your brand in the following way, rather than just steaming straight in there with we're a white label SEO agency, and we've worked with 400 companies. And, what's in it for me? A lot of, it's a good segue. I think the biggest mistake that a lot of people, advertisers make or brands make, is they go out there and they talk about features. We've been in business for 10 years. We've got XYZ clients, but it's what's in it for me? Let's talk about the benefits. How are you going to make me feel? What's the feeling that I'm going to get? So you've got your demographic, obviously, your age, your gender, your job title, location, those sorts of things. But the psychographics are really important. What are those aspirational things that if I engage with you or your product or your service, how's that going to make me feel? That's what I was talking about on yesterday's video, was like, it's not just about the demographics, but it's, I want to grow my business so I can go out and upgrade my Tesla, or go and buy an EV, or I want to buy a bigger boat, or I want to take my partner to the Italian Riviera for our 20th wedding anniversary next year. There's so many reasons for people wanting to grow their business. They want to obviously grow their revenues so that they can either sell the business. Why do they want to sell the business? Because they want to move to Byron Bay, or they want to move to Fiji, or there's all these underlying things there. So when you really, really, really put yourself in the customer's shoes and then work it back and say, okay, so this is our ideal customer profile. We've got their age, we've got the demographic, but we also understand their pain points, we understand their challenges, we understand what's their aspirations, we understand their reservations, we understand what would prevent them from perhaps making a decision. We want to know what keeps them up at night. Again, people to people, we're all people at the end of the day. We've all got our own reasonings for wanting to buy something, to engage with a brand, whether that's a product or a service.
Wow, truly powerful stuff there. I wanted to ask you, before we kind of wrap up, by the way, great advice. I'm just, there taking notes because it's really powerful stuff, just especially, organic, paid, both of them, to be able to have those things on, your customer and then apply that is powerful. And this is a podcast also for another episode in really how you've been able to build your company. I wanted to ask, where are you now? How are you in terms of on the day-to-day? Where are you trying to go? What's your vision, from this empire you've built?
I've been in this online space since dial-up, since 1997. So I love it. I love the technology. I love the new shiny things, new platforms. I love it. Where AI is taking us. It's scary, but it's fascinating at the same time. And where we sit is, we really want to be able to make a marked difference, a transformational difference to the businesses and brands that we work with. Are we going to end up at 100 clients? I don't think that's just the type of business that we want to build. We want to work with high value clients that really value the work that we do, that don't want to necessarily build their own marketing team, but they're happy to bolt us on. Some of our clients we've been with for 5, 6, I think our longest standing client's been 7 years. Wow. And they've become friends, and we've got a really strong relationship there. So in terms of where we see this going, there's a lot of efficiencies coming into play with AI. We've only just touched on that very, very lightly, but there's a lot of efficiencies coming into place. I think that we can really start to get very, very effective with understanding things that might have taken 3-4 months in market. I think we'll start to understand the data a lot faster, so we can make quicker, even more informed decisions in terms of improving our performance for our clients. We just want to be known as the guys that you can go to that are really thorough, really detailed. Yep, we take maybe 6 weeks or so to get started, but it's because there's so much that we want to get right on the foundations. So For us, it's about being being known as the most detailed and thorough agency that can deliver on our promise. We want to transform. We, as we say on our website, we're transformational, not transactional. We're not just about hits and clicks and spending your money. We really want to transform your business. That's where I see us going. It's not a matter of having hundreds and hundreds of clients that are just this revolving door. We want to build long-term relationships and partnerships with our clients where we're really helping them to grow their business and do it profitably.
And so how many in your team?
So there's 12 of us.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Account strategists. And then we've got our specialists, social media, SEO, and CRM, PPC. Yeah.
Okay. So like when you have a team like that, right, a team of 12, what does your day-to-day look like, as a CEO, founder? Like, yeah, because I'm really intrigued in that, in terms of like where you can get to a position where you can remove yourself from the business, and then it's like now, you're just focused on the vision and, expansion. So yeah, and how do you go in and take in on some clients? Do you hear, like, I'm really fascinated, like what's your day like, and what do you do?
So in 2 words, pitching and promoting. So promoting the business, generating content, being being the face of the business, ideating ideas to build our brand awareness, working with the team. We've got a weekly newsletter that goes out, doing my videos, making sure that what I'm saying actually makes sense and adds some value. And then again, doing the sales side of things as well. But we're probably at the point now where we're going to get somebody in, and put somebody in the sales seat. It's just in my blood. I've been selling all my life, so it's hard for me to extract myself out of that part of the business. But it's time. We've decided, it's time for me to just become a little bit more strategic. And Ben, who's our GM, he's been with the business for almost since we started, coming up to 10 years. We want to be able to extract him sort of out of the day-to-day as well. So the 2 of us, and Jan, who's our head of business transformation. Sorry, the 3 of us can concentrate more strategically. And so my day-to-day really is focusing on the business. As you said, most marketing agencies are so busy focusing on their clients, they don't have time to focus on their own business. So I've got to be the one that can just focus on us and driving the marketing for SDM, whilst the rest of the team deliver for the clients.
Yeah, you're the one out there, yeah, seeing how can you guys continue. And just real quick again, like how long did it take you to build a team like that? Like how long did it take you to be able to start to again remove,
2000 and I'm just going back to when my daughter was born. It's 2016. I'd say probably about 4 years. I think things really started. We really found that we found our footing at about the 4 to 5 year mark, where we had the right people in the right seats, and we knew what we were looking for. Whereas before it was like, hey, you seem like a nice person and you've got the right attitude, come on board. So skills are really important, absolutely, but attitude trumps skills every time. If you've got the right attitude and you're willing to, turn up every day with a smile on your face and learn the skills, and be hungry to learn the skills, and be prepared to fail as well. We're all learning every single day. We're all learning. It's not like I sit here and go, man, here I am at 10 years and I'm the best marketer in Sydney or Australia. Far from it. But I'm still happy to learn, happy to push myself, happy to keep turning up every day, because there's opportunity every day, and there's always opportunity to learn. And I think as long as we continually are learning and putting into play what we're learning, then you're always going to be passionate about what it is you do every day.
Powerful. I think we can end it on that note. Thanks so much, Simon. And as I said, I knew, I was like, before I got on the call, I was like, when you just get into an authentic, natural conversation, it's always that for me is the best. And to be honest, like that's what we do with our clients is more like, you know what? No, though they're you doing a script and reading a script and doing a video. No, let me come in and let's talk about it, right? And when you talk to someone about their solution, you're going to go into everything. You're going to see the human side to them. And, that's the gold of the marketing, and even just like, for example, like this, right? Again, this is marketing, this is branding. And for the people who want to start marketing agencies, the service businesses, they can come and watch this and they'll learn, they'll see that authenticity, the business owners, and that's the key. So I kind of just knew it'd be authentic, and I think that's really the best. So I definitely love to post this, put it up on YouTube, I think. And actually it'll be great when I think about it, because even with your marketing agency, like your SEO is very good. Like I remember even searching marketing and you came up. So I think that this may do really well with YouTube. So that actually just came in my mind now. I didn't even think about that. But
no, that was really cool. Really cool. I really enjoyed it. And for those watching, we literally, it's the first time we've met, and it was just great just to have a conversation, and as you say, just be really authentic and just say it how it is, because I had no idea coming into this today where this was going to go, what we were going to touch on. So no, I really enjoyed it as well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So what I'll do is I'll put your details link in the description, guys. You guys can go check out Simon's LinkedIn and everything else. So we'll put that there. And yeah, definitely, I'm really looking forward to even be able to watch this back, learn from it, and really powerful conversation. So thanks so much.
Pleasure. Thanks. We'll chat again soon. Cheers.
Well, and I'll definitely have to have you. We'll definitely have to do a part 2, another time, get into more like your journey, just there's so many things we could have touched on. I could have kept asking you 20 more questions. So we'll definitely, maybe even an in-person podcast. I think that could be cool.
For sure. Love to. Easy. Cool. Thanks, man.
So you're wondering the value in being a podcast guest. Think about it. You want to build your personal brand. Is it important as ever? And coming on this show allows you to do just that. You're able to leverage our audience, but not only that, you're able to leverage the content from this podcast as you clock up the hours someone spends with you. The longer time someone spends listening to your story, your solutions in the marketplace allows you to do something special. It allows you to build a community and build a brand. You can leverage the community here, but you can also leverage the content from this show to be able to use where? On LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you're going to shine. LinkedIn is where you're going to generate leads. So whoever you want to come and tell your story, you want to be able to come in and be a guest that allows you to build your brand. Link in the description, we'll get in touch. So join our waiting list to feature on the Rubasha Family Podcast.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're going to love that one.